Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Every Day. I'm Emily.
And I'm Paul. It's so great to see you all again. Whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening from your favorite podcast app, we're really happy to have you here with us today.
Absolutely, Paul. Today, we have such an important and interesting topic for all our lovely listeners, one that every single person can relate to.
Yes, today we're going to talk about feelings.
Feelings. Something we all have, right? Happy, sad, excited, maybe even nervous or tired sometimes. No matter who you are, you experience emotions every day.
Exactly. And learning to talk about them in English is such a powerful step in your language journey. It helps you not only speak more naturally, but also connect more deeply with people.
That's right. When you can describe your feelings, you don't just learn new words. You actually start expressing your real self in another language. And that's something very special.
It really is. Before we jump in, though, a quick friendly reminder to everyone watching or listening. Please share this episode with your friends who are learning English.
Yes, and don't forget to subscribe to English Every Day if you haven't already. And, of course, hit that like button. It really helps us a lot.
We absolutely love seeing your comments, too. They make our day. So please let us know what you think. Maybe even tell us how you feel after watching this episode.
That's a great idea, Paul. So today we're going to dive into the world of emotions, what they mean, how to express them, and how learning to talk about your feelings can make your English more natural and more human.
Exactly. So grab your notebook, get comfortable, and let's start this emotional journey together.
Yes, let's talk about feelings. All right, Paul, let's begin with a simple but important question. Why is it so important to talk about our feelings?
Good question, Emily. Sometimes it can feel a little difficult, right? It's not always easy to open up and say how we really feel, especially when the emotions are heavy or confusing.
Yes, that's true. Many people think keeping everything inside will make things easier, but actually, it's the opposite. When we talk about how we feel, it helps us understand ourselves better, and it's really good for our mental health.
Exactly. It's like letting a little bit of air out of a balloon before it bursts. When you share what's inside, you feel lighter, calmer, and more at peace.
I love that example, Paul. It's not healthy to keep everything bottled up. When we express our feelings, we give our mind a chance to breathe.
Right. And it also helps us communicate more clearly with others. When people know how we feel, they understand us better. For example, if I tell you, Emily, I'm feeling really happy today, you immediately understand my mood and energy.
Exactly. And it's the same with family, friends, or even coworkers. Sharing our feelings helps build stronger relationships because it allows people to see the real us.
Oh, totally. If I'm feeling a bit sad and I tell my friend, I'm feeling sad today, my friend might say, Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Can I help? That small moment of honesty builds a bridge between people.
That's such a beautiful way to put it, Paul. A bridge between hearts. When we talk about our emotions, we invite others to walk across that bridge and meet us where we are.
Yes, I really like that image. So, talking about feelings isn't just good for our mind, it's also great for understanding each other and building connections that last.
And you know what? It's also an act of courage. It takes bravery to say, I'm not okay, or even, I'm really happy today, because it shows your true self.
That's so true. Being open about your feelings is not a sign of weakness, it's actually a sign of strength.
Exactly. So remember, everyone, expressing your emotions helps you stay healthy, build better communication, and create stronger relationships.
Wow. Yes, wow. Talking about your feelings really is one of the best things you can do for yourself and the people around you.
Couldn't agree more, Paul. Now that we know why it's so important, let's move on and start learning some useful English words to describe how we feel.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Now that we understand why talking about feelings matters, let's go over some basic words that describe how we feel. These are the words you hear and use almost every day.
Exactly. And even though they seem simple, these words are the foundation for expressing emotions in English. If you can use them naturally, you'll sound more confident and real when you speak.
That's right. Let's start with one that everyone knows: happy. When you smile, when you laugh, or when something good happens, you feel happy.
Like right now, I'm feeling happy talking to you, Emily.
Me too, Paul. Happiness is such a beautiful feeling. It makes your face light up and your energy shine. You can say, I'm happy because I passed my exam, or I feel happy when I listen to music.
That's a great example. The next one is sad. When you cry or when things don't go the way you hoped, you feel sad.
Yes. For example, when it rains all day and you wanted to go outside, you might feel a little sad. Or when you miss your friend who moved away, that's sadness too.
Exactly. Now, what about angry? That's when something upsets you, when you feel hot inside and maybe you want to shout a little.
Like when someone cuts in line at the store, or when you miss the bus just by 1 minute. Ugh, that's the worst. You might feel angry in that moment.
Oh, yes, that's a good one. Then we have tired. When your body feels heavy and your mind feels slow, you just want to sleep.
Right. After a long day of studying or working, you can say, I'm so tired. I need a rest. It's one of the most common feelings we all share.
Sometimes, after recording a long podcast, I feel a little tired too.
I know that feeling. But tired doesn't always mean just sleepy. Sometimes it can also mean emotionally tired, like when you've had a stressful day.
That's a good point. And now let's talk about excited. That's the feeling you get when something great is about to happen. You can't wait.
Yes, like before a holiday trip or your birthday or a concert, you feel so excited. You can say, I'm so excited for the weekend, or I feel excited about meeting my friends.
Exactly. It's such a positive, energetic feeling. Your heart feels light and you can't stop smiling.
Now, another very common one: scared. That's when something makes you feel afraid or nervous.
Like when you're watching a spooky movie at night and you hear a strange noise, you might feel scared.
Or when there's thunder outside and you're home alone, it's that little shiver you get when you feel afraid.
And finally, for our basic list, we have nervous. That's when you feel a mix of excitement and fear, like before a big test or when you have to speak in front of people.
I remember feeling so nervous before our very first podcast episode. My hands were shaking a little, but After we started talking, I felt much better.
Same here, Emily. But now, after doing so many episodes, I feel comfortable and happy.
See? Practice really makes perfect. The more you talk about your feelings, the easier it becomes to express them naturally.
That's so true. And these simple words, happy, sad, angry, tired, excited, scared, and nervous, are like your emotional ABCs. Once you know them, you can start building bigger, more expressive sentences.
Exactly. So don't underestimate simple words. They're powerful tools to help you connect with people and share what's inside your heart.
Well said, Emily. Now that we've covered the basics, let's move on to a very useful grammar tip that will help our listeners talk about their feelings even more accurately.
Yes, let's learn how to use I feel and I am the right way. All right, so now that we know the basic feelings, let's talk about how to use them correctly in sentences. There's a small but important difference between saying I feel and I am.
Oh, yes, this is very useful. And actually, it's one of those little grammar things that can make your English sound much more natural.
That's true. When we talk about our emotions, we often say I feel followed by an adjective. For example, I feel happy, I feel sad, or I feel tired.
Exactly. I feel is all about describing what's happening inside you right now, your inner state or emotion at this very moment.
Right. It's like you're checking in with yourself and saying, this is how I'm doing right now. For instance, I feel excited about my new job, or I feel nervous before the presentation.
Perfect examples, Emily. And then we have I am. You can also use I am with adjectives to describe your current state, like I am happy, I am tired, or I am scared.
Yes, both forms I feel and I am are correct. You can say I feel tired or I am tired, and they mean the same thing in most situations.
That's right. The difference is very small, and you don't need to worry too much about it. Sometimes I feel sounds a little more emotional, while I am sounds a little more general or neutral.
Exactly. For example, I feel sad focuses more on the emotion itself. It's like you're noticing your feeling in that moment. But I am sad sounds a bit more like a simple description of your state.
That's a really nice way to explain it. And here's a little trick. When you talk about physical states like touch or temperature, we also use I feel.
Oh, yes, like I feel cold, I feel hot, or I feel sick. Those are all correct. You wouldn't say I am cold if you're describing the temperature on your skin. You'd say I feel cold.
Exactly. But when you're describing your identity or a permanent state, we use I am, like I am a student or I am a teacher.
So it's really about how temporary or emotional the feeling is. If it's something that changes, use I feel. If it's something more stable, use I am.
Perfectly said, Emily. And honestly, don't stress too much about choosing between them. When you're learning, it's totally fine to pick one and just use it confidently.
Exactly. What matters most is expressing yourself. If you can tell someone how you feel, that's already communication, and that's the goal of language.
Yes, I love that. Communication over perfection. So whether you say, I feel happy or I am happy, both are wonderful ways to share your emotions.
And remember, the more you practice, the more natural these small grammar details will become. It's like riding a bike. A bit shaky at first, but once you get the rhythm, it feels easy.
That's such a great comparison. Okay, now that we understand how to talk about feelings grammatically, how about we explore some more advanced emotions, the ones that describe exactly how we feel in different situations?
Ooh, I love that idea, Paul. Let's move on to specific feelings, words that help you sound more expressive and precise when you talk about emotions.
Great, let's dive into it.
Okay, now let's take things a little deeper. We've learned some basic feelings like happy, sad, or tired, but life isn't always that simple, right? Sometimes our emotions are more complex.
Exactly. There are so many shades of emotion. So now we're going to explore some specific feelings that help you describe exactly what's happening inside your heart and mind.
Yes, these words make your English sound richer and more natural. They show not just what you feel, but how deeply you feel it.
Perfectly said, Emily. Let's start with a really common one: frustrated.
Oh, yes. Frustrated means you're trying to do something, but it's not working and it's driving you a little crazy.
Exactly. Like when you're trying to assemble new furniture, but the instructions make no sense at all. You might feel very frustrated.
Or when the internet suddenly stops working right before your online class, oh, that's so frustrating. You can say, I feel frustrating because I can't finish my work.
That's a perfect example. Now let's talk about overwhelmed. This one is really useful, especially for students or busy workers.
Yes, overwhelmed means you have too many things to do and your mind feels like it can't handle it all. Like when you have too much homework, too many emails, and not enough time.
That's right. You can say, I feel overwhelmed today, or I'm a bit overwhelmed with everything going on. It's a very honest and natural way to express mental pressure.
Exactly. And next we have anxious. This one is quite close to nervous, but it's a little stronger. It's when you worry a lot, especially about something that hasn't happened yet.
Yes, like before a big job interview or before giving a speech in front of a large audience. You might say, I feel anxious about it, meaning your stomach feels tight and your thoughts are racing.
Oh, I know that feeling so well. But remember, it's totally normal to feel anxious sometimes. It means you care about what's coming.
Exactly. And now let's move to a positive one: proud. It's a wonderful feeling.
Yes, you feel proud when you achieve something great or when someone you love does something amazing. It's like your heart smiles.
That's beautiful, Emily. You can say, I'm proud of my work, or I'm proud of my friend for finishing her studies. It's a warm, happy emotion, not just joy, but also respect and satisfaction.
Or like when your child learns to ride a bike for the first time and you think, wow, they did it. That's such a proud moment.
Absolutely. And now let's look at lonely. This one is a little sad, but it's important to talk about.
Yes. Lonely means you feel alone even if there are people around you. You just wish you had someone to talk to or someone who truly understands you.
That's right. And it's something that everyone feels at some point. You can say, I feel lonely tonight, or I felt lonely after moving to a new city.
It's okay to feel lonely sometimes. It just reminds us how much connection matters in life.
Exactly. And speaking of positive emotions again, let's talk about confident.
Oh, yes. Confident means you believe in yourself and in your abilities. You trust that you can do something well.
Like when you know the answer in class and you raise your hand, that's confidence. You can say, I feel confident about my exam, or I'm confident in my English speaking skills.
I like that one. Confidence grows with practice. The more you try, the stronger it becomes.
Exactly. And our last one in this section, disappointed. This is when something you hoped for doesn't happen, and it makes you feel a little sad or let down.
Yes. For example, when your favorite team loses a big game, you might say, I'm so disappointed. Or if your plan with a friend gets canceled, you feel disappointed too.
Right. It's not anger and not deep sadness. It's that small pain in your heart when something doesn't go as expected.
That's such a good way to describe it, Paul. Okay, all these words frustrated, overwhelmed, anxious, proud, lonely, confident, and disappointed help us paint a clearer picture of our emotions.
Exactly. They make our English sound alive, more real. Instead of just saying, I'm sad, we can now say, I'm disappointed or I feel lonely. Each one carries a different kind of emotion.
Yes, and the more you practice using them, the easier it becomes to choose the right word for the right situation.
Perfect. So now that we've got these new feelings in our vocabulary, how about we learn to describe how strong those feelings are?
Oh, I love that because not all emotions are equal. Sometimes you're just a little sad, but other times you're completely devastated.
That's true. Let's dive into that next.
All right, now that we know lots of different feelings, let's talk about something really important: how strong those feelings are. Because sometimes you're just a little happy, and sometimes you're really, really happy. And sometimes you're not very sad, just a bit sad.
Exactly. In English, we have special words that help us show how strong our emotions are. These words make your sentences sound more colorful and help people understand you better.
Yes, instead of saying the same thing every time, we can use different words to make our meaning clearer. For example, instead of just saying, I'm sad, you can say, I'm a bit sad, or I'm really sad, or even, I'm completely devastated.
That's right. So let's look at some of these words.
The first ones are a bit and a little. These mean your feeling is small, not very strong.
Like if your ice cream falls on the ground, you might say, "Oh no, I'm a bit sad."
Yes, it's not the end of the world, but it still makes you feel something inside.
Now, if your feeling is stronger, you can use very or really. For example, I'm really tired after work, or I'm really excited for the weekend.
Exactly. Very and really are simple, but they make your emotions sound stronger. When you say, I'm happy, it's okay. But when you say, I'm really happy, people can feel your excitement.
Yes, even the tone of your voice changes. You sound more alive.
And when your feeling is super strong, you can use completely or extremely. These mean your emotion is very deep, very intense.
For example, I'm completely exhausted after the exam. Or I'm extremely proud of my team.
Or I'm completely devastated, which means you're very, very sad, much more than just sad.
Exactly. Think of it like steps on a ladder. A bit sad, sad, really sad, completely devastated. Each step shows a stronger emotion.
That's a fun way to think about it. Like an emotional ladder. You can go up or down depending on how you feel.
That's right. So here's a quick guide. A bit or a little means small feeling. Very or really means strong feeling. Completely or extremely means very strong feeling.
Perfect summary, Paul. And the best thing is, you can use these words with almost any emotion. For example, I'm a little nervous. I'm really happy. I'm extremely tired. I'm completely confused.
I've said that one before. I'm completely confused, especially when my computer doesn't work.
Oh, yes, that happens to me all the time. These small words help people know exactly how you feel, not just what you feel, but how much.
That's right. And it makes your English sound emotional and natural, not robotic.
Yes, it's like painting with words. Instead of just one color, now you have light shades and dark shades. You can show your feelings more clearly.
Beautifully said, Emily. So don't be afraid to try these out. Say your feelings out loud with different strengths. It's great practice.
Yes, and it's actually fun. So now that we know how to talk about the strength of feelings, let's move on to something even more fun: idioms.
Oh, I love idioms.
Then let's dive into some idioms about feelings. You're gonna love these. All right, now it's time for one of my favorite parts: idioms. Idioms are short, fun expressions that people use all the time in real life. But here's the thing: you can't always understand them by just translating the words.
Exactly. Idioms are like little secrets in the English language. Once you learn them, you sound much more like a native speaker.
That's right. And idioms about feelings are especially common because people use them to express emotions in creative ways.
Okay, let's start with a happy one. I'm on cloud nine.
Ah, yes, I love this one. On cloud nine means you're extremely happy, like you're floating in the sky.
For example, you can say, my vacation starts tomorrow. I'm on cloud nine. That means you're super, super happy and excited.
That's so funny. It's such a beautiful image, isn't it? Like you're walking on clouds because life feels so good.
Exactly. Now, here's another one. I'm feeling under the weather.
This one sounds strange, but it's very common. Under the weather means you're feeling a little bit sick. Maybe you have a cold or you're just not feeling your best.
So you could say, I can't come to the party tonight. I'm feeling under the weather.
Perfect. It's a polite way to say you're not well without going into details.
All right, next one. He's walking on eggshells.
Ooh, this is an interesting one. Walking on eggshells means being very careful with what you say or do because you don't want to upset someone.
Yeah, like when someone is in a bad mood and you have to speak carefully around them, you can say, he's walking on eggshells around his boss.
That's a funny image, isn't it? Like stepping carefully so you don't break the eggs.
Exactly. It's all about being cautious with your words or actions.
Now, the next idiom is a sad one. It broke my heart.
Oh, yes. When something makes you very, very sad, you can say, it broke my heart. For example, when my dog ran away, it broke my heart.
Oh, that's so sad, Paul. But it's a very common expression. People often use it when something emotional or disappointing happens.
Exactly. And sometimes people even say, it breaks my heart to see that, when they talk about something that makes them feel deep sadness or sympathy.
Yes, It shows real emotion. So let's review these idioms one more time.
Sure, we have I'm on cloud nine, extremely happy, I'm feeling under the weather, a bit sick, he's walking on eggshells, being very careful not to upset someone. It broke my heart. Something made you very, very sad.
Perfect summary. These idioms are so much fun, and when you use them, your English sounds more natural and expressive.
Yes, they do take a little practice to remember, but once you start using them, they'll stick in your mind.
That's true. Try using one or two in your daily conversations. You'll be surprised how native speakers react. They'll think, wow, this person really knows English.
Exactly. And now that we've learned how to say how we feel, let's talk about something just as important: how to ask other people about their feelings.
Oh, I love that part. Because caring about how others feel is a big part of good communication.
Absolutely. Let's dive into that next.
So, we've talked about how to describe our own feelings. But, Paul, what about when we want to ask other people how they feel? That's just as important, right?
Oh, absolutely. Asking about someone's feelings shows that you care about them. It's not just small talk, it's a way of building real connection.
Exactly. Most of the time, people ask, how are you? And that's okay. But sometimes, when you really want to know what's going on, you can go a little deeper.
Yes, instead of just how are you can say, how are you really feeling? That one little word really makes a big difference.
It does. It shows that you truly care and that you're ready to listen, not just say hi.
And sometimes when someone looks a bit sad or tired, you can gently ask, do you want to talk about it?
Yes, I love that one. It gives the person a chance to share, but they don't have to if they're not ready. It's like opening the door, but not pushing them to walk through it.
Exactly. It's what we call a soft question. It feels safe.
Another one I really like is something on your mind? That means, are you thinking about something or is something worrying you?
That's a great one, Emily. It's such a gentle and kind way to ask if something's bothering someone.
Yes, and when you ask questions like that, it tells the other person, hey, I see you. I care about what you're going through.
That's so true. Asking is only half the job, though. After someone shares their feelings, the next step is how you respond.
Right. This is where empathy comes in. Empathy means understanding and sharing the feelings of another person.
Exactly. It's not about giving advice or trying to fix everything. It's about being there, listening, and showing that you understand.
For example, if someone tells you, I'm really sad today, you can say, that must be really hard. It's simple, but it shows compassion.
Yes, or you can say, I understand how you feel. That one's very powerful because it tells them you get it. Maybe you felt that way too.
And one of my favorite things to say is, I'm here for you. Those words can mean so much when someone feels alone.
Absolutely. I'm here for you means you're not alone and I'll support you.
And another beautiful phrase is, thanks for sharing that with me. When someone opens up, it's a big step. It takes courage. Saying thank you shows respect and gratitude.
That's right. It also makes them feel safe to open up again in the future.
So, empathy isn't about having all the answers, it's about being present, listening, and caring.
Exactly. It's about saying, I might not fix your problem, but I'll stand beside you while you go through it.
That's so beautiful, Paul. And this is something we can all practice in English and in life, because every conversation becomes warmer when there's empathy in it.
Yes, I agree completely.
So now that we've learned how to ask and respond kindly, how about we practice with a few real-life examples?
Great idea. Let's imagine some situations and see how we can use our new vocabulary.
Perfect. Let's do it.
All right, Paul. Now let's imagine some real life situations where we can use all the feeling words we've learned. This part will help our listeners practice how to express emotions naturally in everyday life.
Yes, because it's one thing to learn the words, but it's another thing to use them when something actually happens.
Exactly. So let's start with something most people can relate to, a bad day at work.
Oh, yes. We've all had those. If I had a really stressful day, I might say, I'm feeling tired and a bit frustrated today. The computer was slow and I had too many meetings.
That's a good one. You can really picture the situation. And if you want to add more emotion, you could say, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed after all that work today.
Yes, perfect. It sounds natural, polite, and honest, the kind of thing you could actually say to a coworker or a friend.
Exactly. Now, let's try a happy situation. How would you describe your feelings before a big trip or a special event?
That's easy. I'd say, I'm so excited for my vacation next week. I can't wait.
That sounds great. Or you could say, I'm on cloud nine about the concert tomorrow. That one sounds even more expressive.
Yes, that's the perfect example of using an idiom to make your English sound lively.
Okay, now let's try a sad situation. Let's say you've just had a breakup or a big disappointment.
That's a hard one, but it's important to talk about those moments too. I might say, I'm really sad about the breakup. It broke my heart.
Yes, that's so honest and heartfelt. Or you could say, I'm disappointed that the project didn't work out. It shows sadness without being too dramatic.
Exactly. And using words like that helps you express emotions clearly without sounding negative.
That's right. And here's something I really love about English. There are so many ways to express one feeling. You can choose the one that fits your emotion perfectly.
That's true. It's like a toolbox of words. You pick the right tool for the job.
Yes, I love that comparison. Okay, let's talk about something that's common for many people, stress at work. Sometimes it's not easy to talk about your feelings in a professional environment.
That's so true. But it's important for our well being. If you're feeling too much pressure, you can say, I'm feeling a bit burned out.
Good one. Burned out means you're extremely tired and stressed from working too much, like a candle that's burned all the way down.
Exactly. And if you need a short rest, you can say, I need a mental break. That means you just need time to relax your mind, to recharge.
Yes, that's something we all need sometimes. Even a few minutes to breathe and clear your thoughts can make a big difference.
Totally agree. And those phrases, burned out and mental break, are great to use at work because they're professional and polite.
Right. They're honest, but not too emotional, so they fit perfectly in the work conversation.
Exactly. Now, Emily, here's something interesting. Feelings are not just about language, they're also about culture.
Yes. I was just about to say that. The way people express their emotions can be very different from one culture to another.
For example, in some cultures, people don't talk about their feelings openly. They prefer to keep things inside.
That's right. Maybe they think it's more polite or they don't want to bother others with their problems.
And in other cultures, it's the opposite. People talk very openly about how they feel. It's normal to say, I'm stressed or I'm lonely, even to coworkers.
Yes, exactly. English speaking cultures, like in the US or the UK, usually encourage people to express their emotions clearly. It's seen as a good thing. It shows honesty and builds trust.
Right. So when we're learning English, you're not just learning words, you're also learning how people in those cultures communicate emotionally.
Yes. It's like you're learning a new way to connect with people. Language and emotion go hand in hand.
That's a great way to say it. And remember, it's okay to make mistakes. The most important thing is that you're trying to express yourself and connect with others.
Exactly. Communication is not about being perfect, it's about being real.
Beautifully said, Emily. So now that we've practiced these real life examples and learned about feelings at work and across cultures, how about we wrap up with some final tips for improving emotional vocabulary?
Oh, yes. I love that idea. Let's do it. All right, everyone. We've talked about so many things today: feelings, idioms, culture, and how to talk about emotions in English. But before we say goodbye, Paul, let's share a few final tips to help our listeners keep improving their emotional vocabulary.
Great idea, Emily. Because learning to talk about your feelings in English isn't something you do in one day, it's a journey.
Exactly. So here's my first tip: keep a feelings journal. Every day, write one or two sentences in English about how you feel.
That's a fantastic idea. You can start simply. Today, I feel happy because, or I feel a bit tired because. It helps you practice using the words naturally, and at the same time, you become more aware of your emotions.
Yes. And you'll start noticing patterns, like what makes you happy, what makes you frustrated, or what helps you feel calm. It's good for both your English and your heart.
I love that. My next tip is to describe your day using emotional language. For example, instead of saying, my day was good, try saying, my day was a bit stressful at first, but later I felt really proud of my work.
That's such a good one. It makes your sentences sound more interesting and real. You're not just describing events, you're describing how those events made you feel.
Exactly. It's how you turn simple English into meaningful communication.
And my last tip is this: don't be afraid to make mistakes. We all make them. The most important thing is to keep talking and practicing.
Yes, that's how we all learn. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Talking about your feelings, whether in your native language or in English, takes time and courage.
Absolutely. And remember, expressing your emotions is not just about language, it's also about connecting with people, understanding yourself, and growing as a person.
Wow, that's beautifully said, Emily. Talking about your feelings is truly a journey, both in English and in life.
Yes, and to everyone listening right now, we are so proud of you for learning and growing with us today.
That's right. Every word you learn brings you one step closer to expressing yourself freely and confidently.
So keep going, keep speaking, and keep sharing how you feel in English and from your heart.
Exactly. And before we finish, just a quick reminder, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, English Every Day. Share this episode with your friends and hit that like button. It really helps us a lot.
Yes, and we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell us, how are you feeling today? Or maybe share a time when you felt super excited.
We can't wait to read your stories.
Thank you all so much for joining us today on English Every Day. Remember, learning English isn't just about grammar and words, it's about expressing who you are.
Absolutely. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep sharing your feelings.
We'll see you next time, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye!